All right, you ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3.
It's episode 297, and we've got plugins for interactive flipbooks, tax reports, help desk within the WordPress administration, demo site creation, and the highest regarded plugin that I've ever used. It's all coming up on WordPress Plugins A-Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 30,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join John Overall and Marcus Couch for this weekly unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress Plugins A-Z.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. And welcome back to another fine, fun-filled, exciting episode coming to you direct from the Great Wet North. I'm John Overall.
And from the sunny shores of Laguna Beach, California, I'm Marcus Couch.
And we have the usual great show for you here today. Right off the top, don't forget you can get all the show notes over at WPPlugins A-Z.com. And if you got a couple of minutes, we greatly appreciate your time on Stitcher Radio, hitting that little thumbs up in the button in the corner, or stopping into the iTunes store and leaving us reviews. They really help the show.
Yeah, they help us by increasing the rankings. They bring more audience to the show, and that helps everybody. So if you have a few minutes, we would greatly appreciate that. Also, remember, you can follow the show on Twitter at WPPlugins A-Z.
Absolutely. And of course, a little bit of, self-promotion for the WPAZ website is go check out the jobs board, see what's happening over there. The jobs board is a great place if you've got an extra job you want to share, or if you're looking for some professionals. We've got a couple of professionals over there now that are sharing their information. So go check it out at WPPluginsA-Z.com/jobs.
Yeah, we got tons of new stuff. And by the way, if you are interested, I am later in the month going to be starting up the membership coach program again. I've just kind of done some redesigns and done some stuff with LearnDash and some cool plugins and things. And that's rocking along. So if you want to go to membershipcoach.com, you can get on the pre-launch list, and we'll be ready to go for the next semester of enrollment. So check it out, membershipcoach.com.
Nice. All right. And at this point here, we really like to thank our donors to the show. For those who donate $50 or more, we get a full readout of whatever note you send us, along with any links you provide. Anyone $50 and under, well, thank you very much. This week here, we have $50 from Jez at JezWeb Pty Limited, and he left this note here. Thank you for the work you do, John and Marcus. I completely agree with giving each client SSL for their website. We've standardized on all new sites being SSL and are working through our existing clients to switch over their sites too. There was an interesting discussion on EP 444 of risky.biz about the consequences of having free SSL, and a reply of sorts from Let's Encrypt. In essence, the issue is that a nefarious phishers can set up SSL for their wonky domains and trick people into clicking on them and thinking, hey, it's a padlock, must be safe. Better to SSL than to not SSL anyway. And this donation is on behalf of the SRO group at srogroup.com.au, who design and manufacture electrical switch rooms and power distribution systems. So thanks a lot, Jez. We really greatly appreciate your support of the show week after week.
Absolutely. And remember, you can also donate through Patreon by going to patreon.com/WPPlugins A-Z and donate on a monthly basis. I haven't seen that move for a little while, so
no, it's kind of steady at the moment.
Time people need to step up a little bit.
We got a few there, and thank you much for the Patreons that donated, and it came through for this month, so much appreciated. And all of them are well under $40 a month. So at the moment, just that warm feeling of helping support a fantastic podcast.
There you go. Thank you very much.
All right, and I do have a quick discussion here. Wanted to discuss briefly about some of the big changes that are coming to WPAZ over the next year. And one of them, starting this following week, we have David, who has joined our team here to help us out by donating hours. He's wanted to support the show, didn't have the cash, but he had time. And this is something pretty much anyone can do. If you have time and you want to donate, feel free to contact me. I'll find something to help you with the show or the website or some of the other things we get done. At any rate, he's been looking at the website and other things for the last week or so, and he's starting to come up with some really great ideas. And I'm looking forward to implementing them, and it'll bring a fantastic website and will help improve the show for everyone. So thank you very much, David. And with his help and some suggested changes that'll be coming soon, it'll definitely be one fantastic show. Now, also listen at the end of the show. You can click off right after we get out of the plugins if you want, but I'm letting everyone know that there's going to be a bit of discussion about some major changes coming in my life, so to let everyone know. Anyway.
All right. Okay, let's kick over to the news segment, and this isn't really news, but I did want to bring something to light. I have had now 3 months worth of subscription to Envato Elements, and Envato is the parent company that does Theme Forest and Code Canyon and all that. And this is a paid graphics site, and they have all kinds of graphic elements, HTML templates, PowerPoints, printing templates, all kinds of fonts, 3D objects, banners, icons, all that kind of stuff. It's $29 a month. And at first I kind of balked at it. I looked at what they had and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just try it for a month. But I'll tell you what, in every single new website that I've designed, and I've probably put together maybe 10 websites in the last 3 months, I found something on Envato Elements to use on every one of those sites. And it's all royalty-free stuff. You don't have to pay for a different license or any of that, and it's buffet style, so you download everything you want. It's all there. If you want to download everything they got, you can do it. And it's just really one of those nice services that's really kind of affordable. So I put a link in the show notes if you want to check it out. Envato Elements, really neat little service. And that's all I got for news.
And just there's a caveat to that $29 a month, this is their launch special.
Yes.
Their price will be going up soon. So if it's something that interests you, you sign up now and you have the lifetime of $29 a month. But when they hit last chance, it's going to be $39, and when they hit regular, it's going to be $49 a month.
Wow. So, well, yeah, I just wanted to bring that to light. And
if we've been smart, really... at beta access, it was $19 a month.
I didn't get that. But if you really want to, if you're a good WordPress person and maybe not so good at graphics, this is a great way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like I've just done some clicking through there. It looks like quite a few really nice things in there. Okay, we do have a couple of news articles this week, and they're related around, one's related around security, the other is own your data. The first one here, researchers have found a severe flaw in WordPress plugin with over 1 million installs. And the plugin they're talking about is Next Gen Gallery. I guess it's got another flaw in it. And it's got some major issues, and you'll want to check out this article, and if you use NextGen, make sure you're up to date with the latest version of it to help ensure that the flaws are plugged.
Absolutely. I want to also talk about something I just got an email on this morning. I loved this plugin. It was called Clef, and it was something where you just took a picture of the screen and did two-factor authentication to your WordPress admin. And it had a QR code that popped up, and you took a picture with your phone and the app, and then it let you in.
Oh, I remember that.
Sometimes it'll let you, you can choose how long you want it to be on and all that. Well, I know. I loved it so much that they actually changed their banner in the repository and put my quote about their plugin in the repository,
nice.
Which was weird. Well, unfortunately, it's shutting down on June 6th.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I know. It is too bad. That was a really great plugin for the last couple of years. I've been using that. So I'm going to have to go with some other two-factor authentication stuff. So look for reviews on that kind of stuff coming soon. But Clef, you will be missed.
All right. And the next one I've got here is along the lines of maintain your own data. This is about Discuss, and they're hitting sites with unwanted advertising and plans to charge large publishers a monthly fee to remove the ads. Now, you had to have known, everyone, if you use something like Discuss or any other third-party service that's free, either eventually it's going to have ads in it or they're going to find another way to monetize because they have to make money. Everyone has to make money sooner or later. And of course, one of the big things here, it's a really great article over at the Tavern, and they start discussing the complaints that people had about while Discuss mentioned this was coming, they suddenly started doing it without talking to people. And some of the complaints in there that just astounded me was people going, how dare they put ads without my permission? It's like, wait a minute, you agreed to use their service. You gave them permission to put those ads in there. How else are they going to make money? At any rate, while the WordPress comment section isn't perfect, there's lots of ways you can still adjust it and make it very usable on your website without having to resort to a third-party service. So that's something you should consider if you're going to have commenting on your website. Anyway, check out the article. It's a really great piece of information, and it discusses some of the larger issues around third-party stuff.
Yep. All right. And that's the news.
That's it. And we do have some listener feedback this week. We have a couple of great speak pipes from Jeremy at JazzWeb. So we'll just let him take it away here with the first one. Off you go.
Hey John, Marcus, it's Jazz. Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to leave 10 speak pipes. I don't think everybody would appreciate that. But equally, like I guess, hopefully we can't not hearing the sound of 1,000 tiny violins playing either. I'm just kidding. So look, happy to be a repeat contributor, and I'm glad you guys have stuck with it, and you know, whatever the future brings, that is up to you. One little thing I thought this morning, I was looking at chat apps again, still trying to crack the nut on what I would do for that, and actually I found with a client, we found a thing called Livezilla. Now it's not a WordPress plugin, but you can just install it as a kind of website app. And it's got a good app for the phone, and the interface is great. And I actually compare it to Freshdesk, which is, you know, $50+ a month or something. Yeah, I thought it was really good. So, you know, if you're still in the hunt for a good live chat kind of app, I can definitely say Livezilla was quite easy to set up, and the code drops into like the footer of WordPress or in like the hooks area of your theme really simply, and yeah, just seemed to work well. So anyway, keep up the good work, and thank you for all the time you put in. Okay, bye.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jazz. Greatly appreciate that. And Livezilla looks kind of interesting. So check out the screencast. You'll see I brought it up for folks to look at, and I'll make sure to dump a link into the show notes.
Cool. Yeah, I've not used that yet.
Neither have I. Didn't even know about that one. So anyway, we've got another one here from Jeremy Jazz, and we'll let him take it away again. Off we go.
I was looking for some reporting improvements for a client for WooCommerce, and we've had Smart Reporter set up for a while, and that works quite well. It's very graphic, very lovely. They were interested in something a bit more technical, and I think there are some Google Analytics integrations, but something else I found was called woo.report. So that's the website address. And in the repository is a plugin which is like an API that shows your sale data to the woo.report system. And so you create a login for woo.report, and it shows you data like sales information and customer information. And it seems like it's probably still early days, and it is free at the moment. It used to be paid maybe. Anyway, so that's quite interesting, and you can filter the reporting quite well, so you can get like a summary of your sales and things like that. So anyway, look, it's kind of the only thing I found a little bit annoying is that there's a delay as it pulls the data in if you've got a big data set, but I mean that's fair enough. So anyway, yeah, just thought I'd point that out, so feel free to have a look at it sometime.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jeremy. Greatly appreciate it. And it looks like a good tip for if you need some reporting done on your WooCommerce websites. Okay. Still there, Marcus, or are you still on the mute button?
Oh, you're right. I was muted.
That's what I guessed at because I didn't hear you making any response. Okay. Well, we've got a couple emails here. We're just going to touch on the contents. They're pretty lengthy, so we won't be reading them all out. But the first one here is from Jim at WP Blog, and his first sentence is a bit help. I've been following your blog for quite some time. I've always held your work in the highest regard. The work at WP Plugins A-Z is doing helpful towards the WordPress community. And then what they're looking for at WP Blog is they're looking for some contributors to the website, and they're looking for people to help write detailed tutorials about WordPress. So if you're interested, you can go check out WP Blog. I know we'll be contacting them. Eventually, I'll have time to start creating that kind of content, and maybe I'll share it over there also. So anyway, thanks a lot, Jim. We greatly appreciate your email.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, and let's see what else we got here. Doug Payton got some podcast advice for us.
He was talking a bit about the settings and other miscellaneous things in the site, and he's recommended a couple of places that might help with the audio quality. And I'll probably be checking them out with this show here to see if I can get the audio quality even better. Over the next several months, it's definitely going to jump up, and you'll know more why later. But it was really great, and he talks about how he loves the show. Really great supporter of the show. I don't know if he's contributed yet, but hopefully we'll consider that, Doug. But anyway, thank you very much for your email.
Yeah, Doug, I've been podcasting since 2004, so I mean, I'm pretty up on all the technologies, but you have to understand, John and I record this show on Skype, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes I can have the perfect settings, John can have the perfect settings, but Skype just wants to act crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're just kind of stuck with that. And so that's really the best solution that there is out there in terms of VoIP. Yeah. So we're doing our best, and hopefully you understand this is just a podcast that is unrehearsed. We don't edit it. We don't do anything to it.
It's live to tape.
Yeah, it's all live. So that's what you get, and we put it out the same day that we record it, so you get the freshest information possible. And
he did have one other mention here about the show and using the show to help attract business. Well, originally that's what the show was, but one of the things we're trying to do is turn this show into a value for value show that provides a lot for people. And to do that requires lots of time, which is one of the reasons why we're asking people to help support the show by donating.
Yes, and understand too that while I would love to get some business out of this show, it doesn't reflect the audience that I typically would get business clients from. The clients that I deal with are higher level enterprise clients, and they don't listen to plugin podcasts. Yeah. So it's great for the casual user, for the developer in terms of this audience, and it's nice to make friends with people that actually do stuff in WordPress. But beyond that, it's not really a business opportunity for me.
Yeah. Has been for me, but then my development has been small businesses. So, Okay, and we got another one here from Arnie Sargent. And Annie. Oh, sorry, Annie. For some reason I thought I seen an R there. Annie Sargent. And this is a hello, John and Marcus. I love your shows. Thank you for all you do. I wonder if you could talk a bit about managing the media library. Well, the media library is a huge topic, and in my recent weeks with several clients, I want to rip the media library out and throw it out the window. It's because of all the headaches we're having around images. And hopefully one day WordPress Automatic, when they're working on the core, will focus some attention on the media library.
I have asked Matt Mullenweg to his face what's up with the media library. And he basically told me, look, unless we get volunteers to help retool that media library, it won't change.
Well, there we go.
You got to have enough volunteers that'll do it. So, Andy, maybe you might want to pitch in. I don't know, but that's what we're stuck with until we get a big team that wants to work on the media library and a new release. This is what we're going to get.
But Annie, I will get your response to some of the questions in your email, and so I'll email you back with that. But thank you very much for sending us emails, and anyone else who wants to send in contact, we'll be happy to put your information here and share it with the world.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that pretty much covers all of that stuff. So I guess it's time to dive into meat potatoes, eh?
Yeah. Big, long prelude today. We got some great plugins for you, too.
Absolutely. Well, off we go. All right. This week here, the first plugin I've got for everyone is called Tax Report for WooCommerce. This is a pretty nice plugin. Now, being tax time in at least North America, I don't know about the rest of the world and their tax reporting, whether it happens in March, April, but we do. So you start thinking about your taxes. And of course, if you run an online shopping store, you're going to have to charge and collect taxes depending on where you're located. Here in Canada, we have to collect GST, HST, and PST. Depending on the product and everything else, it varies which one you're collecting. So you have to collect all that information, report those tax, and eventually you got to pay them out. Yes, the government always wants their share of the pie. And what this plugin does is it makes that job of reporting a whole lot easier for you. It goes in there and it brings up the reports on the taxes you've collected, where they've been collected on, and tells you how much you have owing to the government. It's a very simple plugin. It looks like it does a great job, and I had to give it a 4-dragon rating, so check it out. Tax report for WooCommerce.
Very nice. Okay, I want to talk about a plugin that is on the repository, but it's also a premium plugin, and I reviewed the premium version. It is called Interactive 3D Flipbook, and it is very impressive. It allows you to import images, PDFs, or even HTML files as a flipping book. And it can be used for demonstrations of magazines, books, cards, brochures, booklets, any of that kind of stuff. And it's better than I've seen on any other magazine site, any media site, anything. This is the coolest 3D flip book I think I've ever seen. It not only has just kind of that straight overhead view, but it also has the flip book as if it's laid out in on a table in front of you.
Nice. And
you can flip through it like that. Really great plugin. It's priced at $24. I do have a link in the show notes, and it's pretty amazing. There's a great demo on the website and on Code Canyon as well, and I rated it a perfect 5 out of 5.
Very nice. That can be quite cool, especially if you do a website that has digital editions of their product.
Not just that, but you could also do brochure templates, right? Everybody looks at those brochure templates sometimes on Code Canyon and all the rest of it, and Graphic River, and where you just get those Photoshop templates of maybe proposals or those kinds of things. You can maybe put a generic flyer, brochure, whatever you want to do, catalog even if you're an e-commerce company, and put it together in a flip book. It looks really cool.
Cool. Okay, the next one I've got up here is called WP Demo Buddy. And this is a plugin that allows you to create demos and a demo section on your site for any of your own plugins or themes or other miscellaneous things. I haven't had a chance to give this a full test yet, but it's something that may be coming to the WP Plugins A-Z site as a way for us to demonstrate some of the better plugins we get or the premium plugins we get so that people can check them out and see if it's for them. It uses shortcodes to enter it. It creates a secondary section. It's auto cleaning. In other words, if you set an expiry timer on a demo, after someone's messed it up completely, it automatically wipes it out and resets it back to 0 so that it's nice and fresh on a regular basis for people to go in and mess with. It allows you a way to get in there and set up promotions in the demo so that people can go in there and buy it once they've decided they want it, link off and go buy it from wherever it needs to be bought from. All in all, it looks like it's going to be quite the cool plugin to be using and checking out for setting up demos of plugins and themes to sell them. So anyway, and this is one of the big things that I've always kind of complained about premium plugins is that sometimes they have no demo for me to actually test. And I'm talking the demo to get into the back end and test, not what the customer sees. So that I end up buying them and finding out, oh, God, I just wasted my money. So anyway, check this out, Demo Buddy Builder, and I give it a 4-dragon rating.
Interesting. Yeah, I reviewed that on a different show, and I love it. By the way, John, breaking news. Breaking. We've never had this on this show. Breaking news.
Breaking news. All right. Ding, 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 ding,
WordPress, WordPress 4.7.3 has just been pushed. It is a security release for all previous versions. They strongly encourage you to update. And it patches 6 immediate security issues, cross-site scripting, a bunch of other stuff. So update
now. All right, I can see all of that coming this afternoon as I open my email back up, and all of a sudden I've gotten dozens of emails of all the sites that auto-updated.
That's right. Okay, so I was approached on Facebook by Marat Aminov, and he told me about his plugin called Catchers Help Desk and Ticket System Plugin for Support. And this is basically a help desk ticket thing that runs right within the WordPress administrative area. Each help request sent to support email becomes a help desk ticket. Now that's key. Each email that's sent to your support team becomes a help desk ticket in the WordPress backend.
That's nice.
You can categorize, prioritize your tickets, and assign them to different people in your team, either manually or automatically. And there is no conflict between two people trying to answer the same ticket because you already know if one person on the team has already taken that ticket. This is the best internal WordPress support ticket system that I've ever seen. It rivals things like Zendesk in terms of what it can do. It's $49. It's on sale at Code Canyon. This is an outstanding plugin, and I rated it a perfect 5 out of 5.
Very nice. Yeah, that would be very nice. Every other help desk I've ever tried has been mediocre at best.
Yeah, this one's really good. They did their work on this one.
All right, the final one I've got here today is amount left for free shipping in WooCommerce. And what this one's for is if you're running a WooCommerce store and you have shipping and you offer up free shipping after they spend so much money, this is a nice little simple plugin that then drops the amount they've got to go before they get free shipping into their shopping cart, the little mini cart if you've got one on there, and on the checkout page. It's one of those plugins to help encourage people to spend more money on your website by moving up to that level to the free shipping, because people for some reason think free shipping is free. And it's a really great idea. So anyway, great little plugin. Check it out. Looks like it's going to do great for those running a WooCommerce store and offering up free shipping. And I give it a 4 dragon rating. Amount left for free shipping for WooCommerce.
All right. Okay. I teased it in the show in the opening. The highest regarded plugin I've ever used. And this is it. It's called WP All Import. You might have heard of it. It's been out a couple years. What it allows you to do is to take any kind of XML or CSV file and import that information into WordPress, into page titles, descriptions, custom fields, anything like that. Let me tell you how I used this, okay? I have infinite tools that allow me to scrape. Right? I can, you better be careful if you've got a website that I'm interested in, because I'm going to scrape every link you've got. I'm going to scrape every product you've got, all that. And this then allows me to take all that data, or even affiliate data feeds that have like 10,000 products in them and image links and all of that stuff, and create posts. And not just posts. If I have a product data feed that has, from affiliates, that has the product ID and description and category and all the rest of it, I can have it import straight from an FTP of an affiliate FTP, like Commission Junction or one of those that update it every single day. And it will create WooCommerce products out of every single one of them. It can even have the option to cloak the link so that somebody isn't getting your affiliate data or your affiliate code. Here's the beautiful thing about it is that tomorrow you can set the template to look at the exact same feed and update the information that was already there, and it does it autonomously, which means you don't have to touch it. And here's another thing is if a product, say, is in the feed for today and tomorrow, but on Friday it ends up not being in the feed anymore, it recognizes that and takes the product out of WooCommerce for you. Another great thing is it allows you to adjust the pricing. So if I wanted to pull in a bunch of data and say, give me a 20% markup on everything in WooCommerce and add that to the price, it'll do that.
Nice.
It's an amazing piece of software. I bought the entire Elite bundle that has WP All Import and All Export. I've just barely scratched the surface of what this thing can do. I have so many websites, so many directories, so many things that I want to do, And this is an amazing piece of software that I was happy to chunk down $250 for. It's probably the most I've ever paid for one single suite of plugins, and I rated this a perfect 5 out of 5.
Nice. That has lots and lots of opportunities for use, especially importing data.
It's great.
Very nice. All right. Well, I covered up in this episode here tax report for WooCommerce, which I gave a 4 to, WP Demo Buddy, which I gave a 4 to, and amount left for free shipping for WooCommerce, which I gave a 4 to.
And running the tables with all the premium plugins, I've got 3D Flipbook, 5 out of 5. Catcher's Help Desk and Ticket System gets a 5 out of 5. And WP All Import would get a 6 out of 5, but I only have 5, so I can give it a 5 out of 5.
Very nice. All right, and a little bit of promotions here, and this one here is still sharing the space with others. I let everyone know about a great WordPress website, which is codenwp.com. It has some pretty useful articles and news about the WordPress community. Go check them out. It's a pretty nice little website.
Awesome. And hey, I want to also say that I am launching a WordPress maintenance product, I guess you could say, within my company, X Squared Marketing. So just go to x2marketing.com and I'll have a WordPress maintenance kind of banner there in the next couple of days. So don't go right away if you're downloading this on Monday. But I got a lot of cool things coming. Working with somebody to completely redesign my business site, and just got all my paperwork and everything back from the government saying that I'm an official business now. So
nice.
Closed my old California business, started one that's out of state, so that I don't have a lot of the liabilities that exist, and really looking forward to it. So I'm going to be hiring actual salespeople and all that to go out and actually get some jobs in, and then maybe I'll have the budget to hire some production people as well. So check it out. X Squared Marketing, my new company, x2marketing.com, and X2 Marketing on Twitter.
Very nice. Cool. Good luck with that, and hopefully it all works out.
Thanks.
All right, now you guys can wrap up the show. We've wrapped up the show for the most part. I'm just going to have a bit word here. You can kill the show at this point if you don't want to listen any further. But I'm just going to talk real briefly about the changes that are coming for me in the next few months. After many years of being married, my marriage is coming to an end and I'm moving out. So I'm going to end up with lots of more time on my hands than I used to have. And with that time, there's going to be a lot that's going to be developed for the WP Plugins A-Z show. I'm hoping that over the course of this next year that the donations and the support for the show moves up to the point where it actually starts to support 2 or 3 or 4 days worth of work on the show, and that it starts to return money that Marcus and I can then start to share. It'll never make us rich, but it could provide an additional stream of income to the streams of income you hear us continuously talk about. It's like I still have my streams of income from my web hosting business, from my WordPress maintenance clients, and my development business. So I have that and the rare occasion of affiliate, but I quit doing affiliate stuff years ago because I found that you either make it into a business or you don't, because it's not a halfway kind of thing. It's either full-time or not for that. And you can make a lot of money with it, but only if you make it your sole business. At least that's from what I've seen with it. So at any rate, what's going to happen is there's going to be more and more development coming for the WP A-Z website, the WP support website. There is going to be those long-promised ebooks, those long-promised membership section of the website, the long-promised plugins that are developed, and content that is going to be premium and paid only off of the WP A-Z site. This will be coming over the many months. It's going to happen more and more as I've been hearing from more and more of you wonderful listeners out there that say, hey, I'd love to support your show, but I don't have any money, but I do have some time. Do you have something I can do on your show? Absolutely. We're going to have more and more stuff. I'm going to have a program. Well, I already have a program I pay for where I can assign people tasks to do, and they can go in and look and deal with them. So what we're looking for is support from the show. I want to see this show become fully value for value. supported by you, the listeners of the show. As much as I want to start taking advertising for companies, I know that in recent negotiations with the possibility of an advertising company, what they were offering and how they were offering to pay for it did not fit into anything that would work for me. And this is something that I've seen, and I'm taking it from one of my favorite shows, which is the No Agenda podcast. And they've managed, it took them years to get where they are now, but they've managed with their listener base and their support. They have a show that provides them an income, and they provide such value for their show. It's forced me over the last few years to actually start donating to them. I've been listening to them for about 3 years and donating for a couple of years because I get such value out of it. And that's what I'm looking for from you, our listeners, is if we're providing value for you, then provide value to help the show grow. Either provide value in time, developing something for us that we can share with the community, or giving us money to help justify the time that's spent on the show. So that's what's going to be happening, and you are going to see it, and it's going to start occurring after April 1st. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to the show, and that wraps us up for today. And as usual, the reminders, don't forget, stop in at the iTunes store, leave us a review. And if you're listening to us on Stitcher Radio, hit that little thumbs up button in the corner or leave us a review there.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback on that, John, I mean, if we had enough support, I would do 2 shows a week. Seriously.
Oh, so would I. I would do 2 shows a week because I know 2 shows a week would be doable if we had enough support. And the shows would go from half an hour to an hour, maybe a little longer, and provide so much WordPress content, people wouldn't know what to do.
And I would even consider doing, I know you've started the video stuff, but we haven't really tried to do 2 at the same time. We were going to do Blab, but I think that one...
that one there was, that died, and of course Blab itself died, so...
Yeah. So, I'd love to be able to do this. I'd love to be able to even stream it out, Facebook Live, all the rest of the stuff.
I would love to do a live stream. I know where to contact people for live streaming now, so... But
yeah.
Until we have the support and the money, it can't happen.
That's right. So I hope that you'll take that into consideration. I know we have tens of thousands of listeners every single week and every single month that tune into the show. So I can reiterate exactly what John said. So with that, how can they contact us, John?
They can reach me on my website at johnoverall.com or send an email direct to john@wppro.ca.
You can find me at my website, marcuscouch.com, on Twitter at marcuscouch, also membershipcoach.com and x2marketing.com, or X Squared Marketing is the name of the company. Also remember to follow the show on Twitter at WP Plugins A-Z.
And that's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!